Well, I'm officially back onto YouTube. Happy New Year, guys. I know I kind of ditched the channel yet again, and I really need to stop doing that. But I had a fabulous Christmas period. The holidays were absolutely amazing for me and my family. And 2022 was seen out in a fabulous way, and it was all around for me. I would say it was a pretty good year, apart from being attacked by Boozy and his team and the delusional sugars, who pretty much must be mourning after they watched Harry's latest interview. This year has really started off with a bang, especially for Prince Harry. Now, we know that King Charles's formal coronation is going to kick off in May. He's going to have the celebration. I personally do not believe that Harry is going to end up being in attendance, with everything that he's basically said thus far about having a frozen willy, about how he lost his virginity, about his activities when he was in the military, and, you know, the 25 people who he obviously took out. We essentially, I personally don't think we'll be seeing Harry at any coronation. Now, I'll be completely, absolutely flabbergastedly surprised if he is in attendance at the coronation, because I personally believe that it's not a viable option for him anymore due to his breach of confidentiality with the military about what he done when he was serving. So I can't really go into too much details on YouTube because it will get flagged. What I really want to say is this, and I initially said this when I first, like everyone else, heard the initial extracts from Prince Harry's memoir that has pretty much just lit up the whole journalistic stratosphere. And when I found out what information he had disclosed about William and William breaking his necklace, I could really see that he's extremely jealous and he's not at all that bright. So everyone is now seeing what people like me and other commentators have seen for a long time, including Sugars, because what's happened is that Harry has pretty much gone back on his initial attacks of the royal firm, that he said that essentially they both implied, him and Meghan, that the royals were racist, and that was the reason why baby Archie wasn't getting security, and that was the reason why he was also not going to be provided with royal titles. Now, he's completely backtracked on this, which everyone across the globe has seen, and we're just like, wow. So he really is doing this in real time. Now, this is the fourth, I would say, public kind of wine fest moaning international broadcast. In fact, I would say it's the fifth one, because we have the Tom Brady interview, I believe, that he done in South Africa. That was the beginning of it, when they were serving and Meghan said, am I okay? Then they've done the Oprah interview where they was moaning and whining and complaining and inconsiderately, I believe, contributed to the expedition of Prince Philip's death. Now they have the Netflix docuseries, Meghan's podcast. I'm actually making it number 6 now. We have this second formal Tom Brady sit down interview, and then we have the 60 minutes interview that he done in America, I believe. And you just think to yourself, every single one of these interviews, he's trying to change the story. He's still trying to look like the victim. For some people, he's pulled it off. Some people are starting to see, wow, Harry really is beyond help. He's had all this therapy. He's had counselling. He lost his mum, boo-hoo-hoo. Whether he's wrong or right, he's clearly got a lot of mental issues. I stand by him. I can kind of see his victimhood narrative. Harry is doing this pretty much for Meghan. Like, I see this from quite a few angles. He's still very much jealous of William and Kate. I mean, the shots at William and Kate and Camilla. So he called Camilla the villain during his interview. He basically openly confessed and said that Camilla is evil. Camilla is the Wicked Witch of the West. And essentially, he personally believes that Camilla has strong relationships and ties with British media personnel that were pretty much her footmen, that he now believes she has poisoned these people so that she can look good when she becomes queen and consort. So I definitely do not believe that Camilla is someone he wants to watch become queen and consorts. That's why I don't believe that he's going to attend the coronation. That's if, how can I put this? And I know that it sounds really sad and tragic for me to say this, but I don't think that Harry really has much time left. And that's all I'm going to say. And I think with that being said, you guys are going to fathom and understand what I mean by that. So there's so much to unpack. And I saw the headlines and I've seen all the different angles and the things that he's raised. Well, it's not really that different, is it? But he's raised a lot of material and he has pretty much gotten quite a few people angry. There was something that I also saw about a week ago regarding Nelson Mandela's granddaughter, who effectively said that they do not believe that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle ever really met Nelson Mandela or had a true understanding of his struggles in South Africa. They took his words out of context, and she feels highly offended that they used his narrative to, quote unquote, inspire them to find this freedom. So you can see that this pretty much is a maximized PR stunt. He's trying to make as much money as he can out of dragging his family, washing his dirty linen in public in a very cheap, tacky, humiliating way. I'm actually really feeling it for William at this point. I think the saddest part of this story is that Harry has done so much damage that he can't really reconcile at this point. And also, what makes it quite interesting is that he said all of these things. He knows that his brother can't respond. He knows that his brother is angry with him as it is. And it's almost like jabbing an open wound that you know is leaking, and yet you continue to go on about it, and you know that this person is at a disadvantage. So essentially, William is going to keep quiet, and I really commend his strength, his bravery, and his self-control, and his diligent discipline to stick to the rules and to essentially not come out and say, look, this is what has happened between me and my brother. Because the minute he feeds into this cheap, tacky soap opera, they're all going to go down plummeting on a sinking ship. And I think Harry's kind of already sealed that fate for himself. So he's basically said, well, you know, I've basically tanked myself. My break to freedom has not worked with Meghan. And by any means necessary, I'm going to bring you down with me. And I'm going to say as many insightful things that you essentially will have to respond. And you can see this is someone who is on a self-destructive mission, always has been from the moment he's been with Meghan. And all I can really say in Meghan's defense, and it's not really in her defense, is that Harry is just as toxic as she is. And that's why they have this toxic love affair that they've got going on, which is extremely destructive. I believe that Meghan Markle always carried that destructive, divisive, exclusionary spirit inside of her for a long time. She's all about dysfunction and fracturing. And it's interesting because I was talking to one of my friends, and of course she is Black British also, and she essentially said, wow, Meghan really has made Black people look bad. She's made Black women look bad. Even though she's biracial, she really has made us look bad. And of course, this friend of mine was someone who was really anti me, anti my channel, and pretty much in the camp of sugars. But she even now can see this is not a good look, you know, because everything that Harry and Meghan have been doing, especially with the angle of racism, has essentially been gaslighting Black people into supporting them because they wanted to find any means necessary or any angle they could possibly use to get their way, to get the victimhood narrative off of the ground so that William and Kate can look archaic, colonial and racist and old-fashioned and irrelevant, to turn the Commonwealth against William and Kate and come out looking good. And it just didn't work that way. So they've been using the race card and Black people's plight regarding racism in the West, especially in the West, to get stuff, which is really sick because it's almost like the boy who cried wolf, and he keeps on doing it. It's just wild because you now know that Harry knows no bounds. So this video was essentially about a Daily Mail article written by Maureen Callahan, but I'm going to leave it there because I think I've given you guys essentially my thoughts, and I'm probably going to come back and give you hers. So with all that being said, guys, happy new year, belated new year. And I'm extremely excited to be back on the channel. Oh my god, so much to cover. I will be back with another video. Bye guys.